to start everything off, I mean, we got a new death battle. This came out just 2 days ago and already has over 1 million views, which crazy, but also not unheard of or not unthinkable for a channel like Death Battle. I mean, phenomenal channel. I really like it. Now, I don't agree with every point or decision they make with stuff, but I love the animation. They put a lot of work in their videos, and honestly, they're just really fun watches. Like, and I get to learn about some lore that I didn't know before for like characters and other other heroes and other comics, other series and universes, all that type of stuff. This one kind of being along the lines of that, also not entirely. I obviously know Simon the Digger from Gurren Lagan. I know Simon. Kyle Rayner, I know the White Lantern. That's like the combination of all the Green Lanterns. I don't know the entirety of his story, but I have general knowledge of like him and his existence. I don't know exactly how he got all of them, but I know he was deemed worthy to possess all of them, and like the spectrum of all, he's able to use all the Lantern's power. He has full control of like the spectrum and everything like that, and yeah, it is crazy. His powers are really insane. He is the culmination of all the other lanterns and basically the lantern god. Like, he can do insane stuff. But I'm sure they're going to go into everything, and we're going to see what this is all about. But yeah, let's just see what we got. We got new Death Battle gamers. This is Simon the Digger versus Kyle Rayner. Fight!
Simon the Digger.
Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern.
Green originally, but
born
yeah.
of Earth with the willpower to pierce the heavens and conquer infinity.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
See, I know that
Deep underground.
I know that what is it, with the end of Gurren Lagan and everything, like, he is at the level of like a galaxy basically, but I feel like the White Lantern is like the level of like a universe.
Jiha Village lived
That's the
in
best way to
dreary
say
isolation, oblivious to the wider world above their squalid cave.
That's where the
Great
hero
anime,
of our
by the way.
story comes in. The young man who would lead his comrades into the sunlight at last. Kamina, the great and mighty.
Yeah.
Oh, and his little brother from another mother, Simon. He
Simon!
was there too, like,
Yeah, I mean, we all love Kamina, but Simon is the actual guy who saves everything, and the main protagonist. Thank you for the other hydration. Muchas gracias.
yes.
Simon was a digger, content to drill endlessly through the dirt.
Just keep
until the
digging,
day he
digging,
found
digging.
the core drill.
A key that activated the mysterious buried mech that Kamina named Lagan. Under his
Lagan.
magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark.
But the sky was by no means the limit. The surface was ruled by the cruel chimeric beastmen, and Kamina would lead his compatriots against them to reclaim the Earth for humanity, scoring a second
right.
mech in the process, aptly named Gurren.
And as befits Kamina and Simon's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagan merged, creating
Gurren Lagan!
Kamina piloting the body and
That's how it works. Gurren Lagan! Look at him. Look at that. How do you not love Gurren Lagan? That's a fucking goated way to create a mech right there.
With Kamina
Just shove
piloting
the
the
head
body
on.
and Simon the head, these two were unstoppable.
Of all the giant fighting robots in all the animes across history, Gurren Lagan might just be the absolute coolest, fueled by its pilots.
Well, yes, okay, he's the coolest for sure. I mean, as someone that is not a big mech watcher, I've not watched a lot of mech animes in my time. I mean, I've watched like Code Geass, I've watched Gurren Lagann. Let's see, what are some other ones I can think of that I have watched that are like Full Metal Panic, those type of things. There is only one Gurren Lagann.
Power and capable of making any weapon they can imagine,
Including missiles, a jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang, and of course,
Dude, the boomerang's sick.
wrist-mounted
Yeah,
drills,
law
kunai
drills, law
shield
drills. We drill
kamehameha
shit. We drill shit. They drilling stuff hard. We ramming them with the drills.
And everyone's favorite, the Giga Drill Bureku. Side note,
You got
it's so funny that
what the fuck is this?
Thing they could think
What is
of
this
was
show?
drills.
What the heck?
That's like if I made booze or something, my whole personality. What up?
With Gurren Lagan's awesome power, Kamina laid waste to enemy forces, liberated human villages, and fomented a rebellion against the Beastmen King, Lord Genome.
Until Kamina
Yeah.
died. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, our boy did die, dude. That when this happened in the actual anime, I literally went, "Well, what the fuck do we do now? Like, where does the story go from here?" Because up until then, like, yeah, Simon had been there the entire time, but the one that was fighting, the one that was given all of like the actual like characterization moments where the big bombastic fights were happening, that was Kamina, and then the guy dies. Where does the series go from here?
Shit, was that supposed to happen?
Nope, and it was all Simon's fault. He let his willpower waver, and his soul brother paid the price. After all, he was just a humble digger, at home in the darkness, guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit.
His
So
brother.
his big bro left him with these final words. Have faith in the Simon who believes in you. Damn.
Kamina was the one looking up to him the whole time. It was Simon who found Lagan, Simon who pierced the surface, and Simon who would now lead humanity to victory.
Especially with his gal pal Nia at his side, who
Nia.
helped pull him out of his rut and kicked Lord Genome's ass. But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked.
Unimaginably powerful godlike aliens, the anti-spiral feared humanity's potential, what they dubbed
Yeah, this is where I started to get lost. I'll be real with you. Like, I remember, like, all up through here, I thought that this anime was probably the like peak in storytelling and absolute beautifulness. Now, I don't quite remember how it transpired, but
It
when
only lasted 7 years.
When she got like possessed or taken over or whatever, I was like, oh shit.
Spiral attack.
And then
unimaginably powerful
this guy,
godlike aliens.
yeah. Basically, the anime Death Star came down from the sky and decided, nah, we're done with humanity.
Anti-spiral feared
Get this
humanity's
drilling
potential,
out of here.
what they dubbed the spiral nemesis.
Remember how Gurren Lagan runs on fighting spirit? Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that all spiral beings like humans have. That's right, the laws of physics run on.
Is it like Uzumaki? It's like Uzumaki, except a not dark and twisted curse.
Chutzpah.
Just as the spiral turned inward represents endless obsession and
And
madness.
it's also look at that! I even made the Uzumaki reference.
The spiral turned
That's
inward
crazy.
represents endless obsession and
That's crazy. I can't believe we shared a brain cell on that. I just made the Uzumaki reference. Got fear of the spiral. Embrace the spiral.
The spiral turned outward
Boy,
spins
the
forever
animation
into
wasn't shit.
infinity. The perfect representation of humanity's evolutionary potential.
Potential Simon would use as he led Team Dai Gurren across the multiverse to take the fight to the anti-spiral. And this is when Gurren Lagan gets crazy.
Channeling spiral power lets you constantly adapt to threats, no matter how overwhelming. Simon can create portals to different realities and higher dimensions. He can
Wait, I
generate
did not. Wait. I did not realize this. Maybe it has been a long time since I've watched this. Like, all right, when I watched Gurren Lagann, it was probably I was probably in like 8th grade, something like that, 8th or 9th grade. Yeah, dude. Oh my God, it's been fucking years since I've watched this series, but I do not remember the reality warping, energy absorption, or anything like that. Okay, maybe this is turning into more of an equal fight here.
force fields, absorb energy
I can do
attacks,
what I
and
want.
even merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger
Yep.
machines.
Creating the Arc Gurren Lagann.
Oh
which
my
is
God.
strong enough to shatter space and time.
Yeah, okay, maybe Kyle might be a little fucked here. He might be in a little bit of danger. Normally, I will say it seems like they, in other instances or other death battles I've seen with like superheroes versus anime characters, like for example, obviously there's the Goku Superman one that they did. Comic book heroes generally win because their abilities like break the laws of physics and do all this type and do like some universe level shit. This is multi-dimensional, like universal time manipulation. I could see this going both ways, but I want Gurren Lagann to win. I didn't make my prediction, but I hope Gurren Lagann wins. I hope Gurren Lagan wins. That would be so good.
Gurren Lagan,
Super.
which can
Wait,
fire
what?
lasers
Time with a punch.
or the Super Galaxy Gurren Lagan.
Super Galaxy Gurren Lagan. Oh my god, just add another word in there. We ain't
Which
going
can
nowhere.
fire
I ain't
lasers
going
that are fast
nowhere.
enough to hit, and I quote,
What is that? Dang. He has drills coming out of drills coming out of drills. I definitely do not remember this part of the series. Oh my god. Also, does the drill have to be right here? I'm just realizing this. Wait a second. Did the animators know what they were doing when they did this type of thing? I'm just saying the placement's a little sus, but it's anime. What can you do?
all time, space, and dimensions, all within a Planck instant.
That's the smallest
A what? A Planck instant? Like Edda and Eddie Planck? Johnny 2x4? Nani? I don't understand.
Space and dimensions, all within a Planck instant.
The gauge is saying something about a Planck time coefficient. Okay.
That's the smallest unit of time physically possible.
Meaning each laser would have to be moving 4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light.
Yeah, so big numbers that no one that is incalculable and is only represented in actual math. We haven't seen no real representation of this whatsoever. I don't know how fast it is. I can't even fathom it. I can't even like possibly imagine it. The time it would take me to imagine it would be too slow and I would have already been dead. Let's get back into this.
I would have to be moving.
Go back for a second.
4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light.
Fast. Hey,
Look 4 times faster.
did he always
than
have the
light.
communist glasses? I mean, they're a little different. They're obviously different from communist glasses, but because they have more spikes. But okay, kind of like his original ones.
Well, looks
Like a
like
mix
this
of the
wins
two.
the award for fastest calculation.
My comprehension is already at an all-time low.
Congratulations, Gurren Lagan.
Move over, SpongeBob. You've been dethroned. Oh, and the guidebook says they hit an innumerable number of enemies across
Wait, what?
infinite universes. You literally cannot
Excuse
calculate
me?
how fast that is.
But it wasn't enough to escape the anti-spiral's greatest trap, the multiverse labyrinth. An attack that imprisons Simon in his own unique multiverse, forced to experience an infinite number of alternate realities that controlled his mind,
Wait,
permanently
what?
arresting him in a dream world.
Except Simone and his spiral power are just built different. And after being inspired by
Damn, he got to meet his brother again? Dude, I have to rewatch this series. It's been so long since I've seen this. I don't even remember this. What the fuck? Dude, I need to go back and rewatch this series like tonight. Oh my god, it's been so long.
his bro, Simone absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more impressive is
He
that this
absorbed that
labyrinth was
whole-
11
Wait, hold up one sec. I need to go
Just
back.
built different. And after being inspired by his bro, Simone
Hey, bro.
absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more impressive
In the drama, she joking like an alternate lore genome seemingly manipulated 20D space, but this is a translation error or marker for manipulating a twofold dimension. I have no clue. I don't know what that means.
is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning Simone absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself.
Wait, what?
The jump between dimensions was 11-dimensional.
Someone explain this to me, 'cause I'm too
meaning
stupid.
Simone absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself.
Yeah,
the jump between
yeah.
dimensions is basically infinite. Each new dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely, thus an infinite gap in size and scope.
What?
Oh, we're just getting started.
Exactly.
Imagine a two-dimensional drawing.
My brain hurts. And the world we live in is three-dimensional. See, it's not playing there. So, okay.
Interacting with a three-dimensional person.
Okay.
What anime is
That's
that?
not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simon absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself, including
wow.
an alternate universe Simon, who is writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagan.
Wait. There's a version of Simon that's writing his own version of this series. That's crazy. It's okay, Russo. I have a manuscript. It's one I'd written in secret with the intent to serialize it after. Forget Grand's boy. Put this in for me instead. Yeah, its title is Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Dude, that is insane. That is what? In another universe, he's the creator of of his own story. Whoa. Dude,
And
I
that
don't know.
author's
I don't
spiral
know.
power made his fictional Simone real, adding
Wait, a person came out of the manuscript. I can't believe this, but it's reality. I see you threw away your core drill and made its power into that pen. And using that power, able to create universes. You joined our 2D universe with this
another
world.
to the mix.
Wait, if
My
every
brain
human
hurts.
being has spiral power, you're telling me we can all do this shit?
This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the next step.
Telling me we can
Wait a
all do
second.
this shit?
This all gave our
Everyone's got a drill. Dang. Drill legs. What those drills do. Isn't this was this one of the enemies?
Simone enough
I
spiral
don't
power to
remember,
form the
man.
next
Oh my
step
God.
in mecha evolution. Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
This is when Gurren Lagann gets
Title drop.
actually fucking crazy. Like shooting missiles that alter probability so they have a 100% chance of hitting you, or tossing galaxies around like frisbees. Sorry, did I say
Guys, it's been too long since I've seen this series. I'm watching this series tonight. I don't know, guys. It's what the fuck? I don't remember any of this. Granted, by this point in this series, my brain was probably like complete. Again, young child just watching it, being like, "Oh, this is really insane!" Like they're fighting with galaxies and stuff like that.
galaxies?
I probably understood almost
Simone's
none of
power
it.
was so immense that he started generating super spiral space.
Wait, what? Is that the guy that? Wait. Is
Simone's
that what's
power
his?
was
Is that
so
his?
immense that he started generating
Dude, he killed this guy. We are super spiral.
super spiral space.
Okay.
A higher dimension encompassing our own universe.
With it, Simone turns his thoughts into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does this mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or
Damn.
his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like
I'm
when
back,
Lord
bitch.
Genome used spiral power to survive quantum breakdown, or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe,
Yeah,
used spiral
ma'am.
power to constantly regenerate her body from being erased at the informational level for 7 days straight.
What?
Information in physics
Wait. Can someone please help me out here? I'm so
is
lost.
essentially the ones and zeros that make up every possible outcome in reality.
Yes.
Nia literally regenerated from the statistical certainty of her own destruction.
If I
Damn.
have spiral power whiz, when the
The universe
fuck
said,
is my
"I will
leg
erase you,"
growing
and she
back?
said,
When
"Nope,
even
I'm good."
This was not enough for the
Try
anti-spiral.
me.
Simone evolved one more time.
Into
Uno más.
Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann!
This mech is so big, its size is literally incalculable. And with a drill somehow even larger than that, Simone
Let's
and his
go.
friends shattered the anti-spiral once and for all.
Hey, cruel indifference of the universe! Meet the indomitable
I'm rewatching
human
this
spirit!
series again.
Proving
It's been so long
Commonest
since I've
words
seen it. I
prophetic
can't.
that Simone's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens.
With
Oops,
no
sorry.
more worlds left to
In my mic, I
conquer.
apologize. I just can't. I just really can't. This is crazy. This is what I mean. What can Kyle Rayner has to be able to do something comparable to that, because I'm literally tearing up almost watching this, remembering some of these scenes, or remembering like the actual emotional parts, like the one that we just saw with them, like in the tussle at the very end of it. Like, I actually do remember that the animation change. I remember this because this was something that I've always loved when animes will take like the art style and like completely change
Spiral
it up,
once
because it's like
And for all.
it's
Hey,
a
cruel indifference
everything in this scene, like all the emotions, everything just feels more raw. You
of the
know?
universe! Meet the indomitable human spirit!
Proving Commonest words prophetic that Simone's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens.
With
Pierce
no
the
more
universe.
worlds left to conquer, Simone chose to wander the earth for the rest of his days, in service to others.
Always looking up, For all the lights in the sky are stars, and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free.
All thanks to a humble digger.
What'd you call him? What'd
The
you call him?
universe is a dangerous place. Should you find yourself face to face with an interdimensional vampire, alien dictators, or this one really pissed off cat, you know who to call.
The Green Lantern Corps. They're the
Who you
Space
gonna
Fuzz,
call?
an intergalactic
Green
police
Lantern.
force founded billions of years ago by blue leprechaun gods.
And the greatest Green Lantern among them was everyone's favorite, Hal Jordan.
You know him.
Yep.
You love him. You might hate him. But you gotta respect the man with a will as unbreakable as Hal's.
Until the day his will broke.
After his hometown got completely obliterated, Hal lost his mind.
I don't remember this. Wait a second. I don't remember this. Again, I know less about the Green Lantern timeline, storyline, whatever, than I do about Gurren Lagan. Hal Jordan went to the dark side. Hal Jordan lost his whole family, and everybody said, "You know what? Fuck this shit. Fuck this justice stuff. I'm gonna come for blood now."
Rampaged through the core,
killing everyone.
in his
Yep.
path, and absorbed the central power battery, the literal Green Lantern.
Becoming the Emerald Tyrant, Parallax.
There was only one survivor of Parallax's killing spree, Ganthet. And with what remained of his strength, he gave the last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human, Kyle Rayner.
So, was Kyle picked for his indomitable willpower like Hal was?
He was
No.
just there. He had no idea what was going on. Must feel good being given the most dangerous magical weapon in existence to figure out on your own. Hey,
Have fun.
if Colonel Sanders, Daffy Duck, Space Wheat, and a sentient box can master it,
That
what's
is
your
true.
excuse, Kyle?
That's true.
The Green Lantern
I
ring
forgot.
can do-
I forgot. Daffy Duck is an actual Green
Existence to
Lantern.
figure out
Yep.
on your own. Hey, if Colonel Sanders, Daffy,
Dude,
Space
fair enough.
Wheat, and a sentient box
Space
can master
Wheat.
it, what's your excuse, Kyle?
The Green Lantern ring can do anything, fulfilling any wish its user desires as though it were a genie from a lamp.
It lets you fire energy blasts, create force fields, affect gravity, turn invisible and intangible, manipulate matter, time travel, warp reality, and erase things from existence.
Think we're exaggerating?
Wait, really?
Well, consider the time Kyle stretched the very fabric of space to increase the Planck length a billion times over. That's like stretching an inch into a light year.
Lanterns control time
Okay.
and space, letting them fly so fast they can create a speed force singularity.
Tapping into the speed force requires entering a higher dimension of space, requiring speeds that are not only faster than light,
They're
but
going too
totally
fast.
immeasurable. And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically protecting its user from danger.
Yep,
Like
they
the
have
time
their
that
own. They
Boozer
have their own
Kilowog
like
survived
events
being
built in.
erased from existence by the crisis on Infinite Earth.
The ring is fueled by its user's willpower and limited only by their imagination.
While Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the Corps, Kyle's imagination is unmatched, probably because he's a comic book artist. And we know from this show, they think of some wild shit.
But the Green Lantern's most recognizable
I mean, we
ability-
just watched where what is it? Simon was the actual mangaka artist for his fucking story that he's in currently, and then he pops out of the manga panels.
is
So
their
yes,
constructs, Kyle's speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships,
Ooh.
giant dragons, actual working home computers,
Wait,
and
what?
his favorite, super fighting robots. Hey,
Yeah,
that one
hell
looks familiar.
yeah.
Kyle can make them strong enough to lift
Wait,
the
wait, what?
Fighting robots. Hey,
No way. Wait, does he actually use the fucking Gurren Lagan?
that one looks familiar.
Well, that's
Kyle can make them
that's
strong
the
enough
part
to
for communist though,
fighting
isn't it?
robots. Hey,
That's communist part
That one
with
looks
the
familiar.
yeah,
Kyle
with the
can make them strong
glasses.
enough to lift the Spectre, who weighs as much as eternity.
or
Wait,
pull
what?
back a 12.3 dimensional Big Bang. Wait, 0.3? DC's multiverse has 12.3 dimensions? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The ring's only downside is that it's
Yeah, wait, 0.3. Where is there a 0.3 of a dimension that exists? What the that
Dimensions?
exists?
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
the ring's only downside is
Same.
that it's limited to
I
24
agree.
hours before needing a recharge.
So it can blow up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone.
Yes,
Never
it
mind.
does. Before it
Stupidest
goes
thing
out.
I've ever heard. Although I'd say Kyle's biggest weakness was Kyle. With great power came no responsibility.
Okay,
Perhaps
Keel.
a manifestation of Kyle's self-doubt. Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
Kyle
Damn.
wasn't the only one.
His girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
They just shoved her. She's legit just shoved in a fridge. Oh my god.
Kyle wasn't
DC
the
gets
only
dark,
one
bro.
traumatized.
DC gets
this
dark.
Moment was so infamous, it started the trope called fridging.
For how female
Fridging?
characters are
What?
often sacrificed as mere plot devices to further a male character's development.
So it might surprise you that it happened to Kyle
That's-
again.
What? Dude. This stop dating people, Kyle. Kyle, just stop dating people. They all end up in fridges.
Kyle finally got serious. He became a prominent member of the Justice League, faced off against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green...
Wait, he did? Wait, hold on.
He
Wait,
became a
what?
prominent member of the Justice League, faced off against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever.
But little did he know, this torchbearer's greatest journey had only just begun.
In order to save Ganthet from an emotional lobotomy, it's a long story, he had to master all the colors of the emotional electromagnetic spectrum.
There are 7 colors, each
Yep.
representing a different emotion. The yellow light of fear lets
Fear.
Kyle manipulate the
All right, here we go. They all have different ones. They all do different things. Okay, so red is the napalm, plasma breath, rage, infection, blood absorption. Blue is healing, possession, nullification, emotional purification. Sapphire does crystal matrices, mind control. Indigo, portals. Orange, energy siphoning, soul manipulation. Yes, because there's only one orange lantern in the entire, as far as I'm aware, there's only one orange lantern in the entire DC comics, and he is a hoarder that does not like to share his lantern or anything like that with anyone. The yellow lantern, that's Sinestro, and then control over life, resurrection.
worst
So, yeah.
horrors in your mind. The more scared you are of him, the stronger he becomes.
Orange light is fueled by bottomless avarice, possessing Kyle to absorb not merely his enemies' attacks, but also their souls.
Red is rage, ripping out Kyle's heart and replacing his blood with napalm. Which
Yep.
sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Blue light is powered by hope and allows Kyle to heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his ring.
Indigo is compassion.
Wait,
Wounds,
supercharge
resist
his
mental
ring.
domination, charge his ring.
Indigo is compassion, reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space, connecting him to others.
The final one was the Sapphire Light of Love. With it, he can trap enemies within crystal matrices and control their minds. But Kyle only mastered it by forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love. I get it. Must be nice.
For Alex's tragic death.
Oh,
Which was Alex? I
self-love.
don't remember.
I get it. Must be nice. And with their powers combined, he doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights of the spectrum merged, and Kyle became a
The
white
white lantern.
with total control over the power
What, no black
of
lanterns,
light.
huh?
Liz, I cannot think of an attack more useless
No
in a
black-
death
wait,
battle
what?
than something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical embodiment of all life in the DC multiverse, Kyle is vastly more powerful than any other
You are
lantern
the
in
greatest
existence.
lantern. Yep.
Far stronger than Hal, who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse.
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead, the white light of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
Anti-Monitor.
Okay, so it's not totally useless.
Especially after Kyle
But I
visit-
mean, okay, so here's the thing. He's able to bring back life, do all this stuff. He's able to fight against, like, Galactus and whatever. But Tangentopa, Super Tangentopa Gurren Lagan literally has near infinite mass. Like, there is no calculable size for him, as was already explained. And then on top of that, we're talking about a guy that can pick up galaxies and throw them at you. It is not the same. If we're talking experience alone, like the experiences that Simon has lived in all of his various lives, compared to Kyle, which only has the one and like the single experiences and everything. I haven't heard anything that
the
comparable.
source and acquired the life equation. Essentially,
Yes.
the source code to reality. The life equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
With it,
Yes, but didn't what's his name? What's his name? Didn't Nia alone was able to actually keep herself from being taken out from what would technically be the source equation or the life equation, you know?
Can alter all of reality at a whim, even threatening the new gods like Darkseid.
The life equation, like its counterpart, the anti-life equation, is a conceptual artifact from a higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation made Kyle too powerful.
He struggled to control it, and it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion. Kyle's
There we go.
greatest weakness was still himself.
Kyle spent his
Dude, that one was
oblivion.
crazy. That guy looks like almost like a Venom. Looks like a symbiote to a degree. Like I said, the Black Lantern. There's a White Lantern. There's got to be a
Kyle's
black.
greatest
Yin
weakness
and
was
yang.
still himself.
Kyle spent his whole life struggling with the power that the gods granted him, and throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle split the life equation into pieces to found his second core, the White Lanterns. And together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self.
Wait, he made a new
White
core? He made his own core? Kyle made his own core of White Lantern, but it's just going to be one White Lantern, Kyle Rayner against...
Lanterns.
Okay.
And together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not bad for a comic book geek from LA.
And now he was the one giving out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he
Right?
told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
Now we're getting
Hey,
into the
remember
fun part.
Beerus versus Sailor Galaxia? No?
No.
Well, that's because it was taken off YouTube for being too anime. But we've got a solution. It's our own website. That's www.deathbattle.gg. It's like our own private Patreon, with a store for Death Battle merch and a complete Death Battle video archive.
Okay.
It's got episodes that YouTube has banned, blocked, and censored, and there's even more goodies on the way. So check out deathbattle.gg live right now.
Maybe we'll watch some of those
All
then.
right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
My money's on Simon. Simon!
All right, I'm not rusty at all.
Uh-oh.
Hey dude, Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Ring says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagan's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are?
Good luck is mine, Ossifer. Who the f you think you is? Give me back my shades. I want my shade. Oh, okay.
I'm told
All
I'm
right.
God with authority.
Oh,
Tell
wow.
me about it. 4!
Four?
Got him. Fucking. All right, all right.
That's nothing! My drill will pierce the heavens!
There you go. We upgraded. We moved on to the next level, to the next series tip. Wait, what? Why'd I go to the... Hold on. Here's my thing. Okay.
That's nothing!
Ready?
My drill will pierce the...
Is this him using the purple lantern or whatever, a different lantern's color, and then that's the whole and this is him going up to the next level. But again, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagan is literally like the one that's right before his final form. Please don't do this. There were like 14 other versions of Gurren Lagan before we actually got to this point. At least have a little more build up, in my opinion. I think that they're going too hot, too heavy, too quickly, you know? But now he's, yeah, but now Kyle's going into his like White Lantern form.
That's really cool.
Lantern. We do the impossible.
See the invisible.
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
If
Oh,
ain't
there you
know,
go.
touch
By the way,
untouchable.
he's using different colors. That's a Green Lantern sword, Blue Lantern shield,
If you ain't know,
Red Lantern.
Now you know.
If you don't know, now you know. So good. Okay. One sec. This is actually getting good though. So he's using the purple to go, or is that violet? I don't know. Hello, I'm back. Welcome back. Where you came in just in time to watch the fight of fights. We got Simon the Digger, Tengen Toppa, Gurren Lagan versus Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern. What are you throwing him to?
If there's a wall in my way, I'll smash it down!
Dig, motherfucker, dig! Uh-oh. Oh, the life equation. Feel the...
think about
Taste the rainbow!
your love of your friends, your compassion for me, your hope for the future. Choose life.
Have faith in the
I mean, yeah. So that's the thing. Even if you use the life equation, or, yeah, the life equation against Simon, spiral power just allows him to exist past a life equation, as in their own universe. Someone who wasn't even as strong as Simon was able to nerf it and go against it.
Believes in you.
Uh-oh, now he's going super Tengen Toppa. Yeah.
Gurren Lagan! My drill is the drill
Well,
that will transcend
he loses it.
the heavens!
Maybe not.
Take a drill break!
Because the life equation was his last thing, but we haven't seen Oblivion yet. Oh wow, we're drilling, huh? We're drilling, drill v drill. That's actually kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty fucking dope. Infinity. And they're both down.
The super weapon wasn't your mech.
It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day, in blackest day.
Yes, this is what I mean.
I'm the
This-
super
okay, so we're taking it
wasn't
truly
your
to how
mech.
it goes. Because again, he becomes the actual, like, the actual existence of Gurren Lagann, like Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Like, there is nothing higher than the actual aspect of Simon when he has fully embraced the spiral.
Then,
He is
Simone,
one with
I'm
the spiral.
taking you in brightest day, in blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power.
Green Lantern fly!
Green Lantern fly!
Okay, this is actually pretty sick. Woo! Go, go, go! Uh-oh. Yeah, let's say Simon. Simon wins! Let's go! Anime character beat comic book character. Blew off Homeboy's arm and everything. Look at that. Woo!
You'd make a good lantern.
Simon! Simon!
You have been chosen.
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Oh my god, I fucking love that. That was great. Yeah, see, that's... Okay, like I said, my bet's paid off, boys.
For the guy with the snazzy sunglasses.
When both combatants possess unlimited power, it's hard to judge them by our normal standards. Take
Unlimited
speed. Simone can hit an
power.
and Kyle can fly fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed
Do
itself.
it.
When you control space and time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead, let's analyze them through a lens more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their imagination, their willpower, and their ultimate potential.
First up, imagination. The boundless
Simon.
things they could conjure to use against
Simon.
the other. Both could think up just about anything the other could, like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting across time,
Yeah.
anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles, but it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring could protect against existence being erased across the multiverse.
That's actually a
And in
very fair
general,
point,
Kyle's
I will say.
constructs were a lot more creative than Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, Nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption.
But that's the thing, he
Imagination is a
just chose drills. Oh, that's actually a good point. I would actually say Kyle might have the advantage in that one, because he does have the experience of being able to think of different tools and different items that might help him out, whereas Simon does generally just have the drills. Granted, theoretically, the spiral energy, he could create other stuff outside of just drills, but he chose drills more often than not, or the
That
variety.
leaves the other main factor for both characters, the origin of their unbelievable might, their willpower.
And that's really gonna be the winning factor here, since it's the source of everything for both of them. Whoever's got the stronger willpower wins.
Both can manipulate reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference.
I'm about to say, I feel like Simon has more, just because his has overcome every version of himself. Like that is the core there, is that no matter what version there is, he has overcome that and pushed past it, and that's how we do it.
This
But
might
that's how
sound
we have
absurd
him
for most
as the main
characters,
character
but it's
he is.
necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contains
Yeah.
11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each
Technically,
numbered
yeah.
dimension infinitely surpasses the one.
Yeah,
Kyle's
but
power
what
in
is
spatial
it?
dimensions. That's 1.3.
It's the fact that these... All right, so here's the thing, though, is that these dimensions are layered upon each other, but it's not like Kyle is existing in each and every one consciously. You know what I mean? It's like Kyle does exist in these worlds, but every Kyle throughout the multiverse is not connected. Simon was put into a alternate existence, basically, with alternate dimensions inside of it. So you could say, relatively speaking, that if there's 11 in the Gurren Lagan universe that he exists in naturally, he gets put into another 11 outside of that one. So there is like 22 22 different multiverses, dimensions, whatever, that Simon is currently has currently existed in.
3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both of these guys are known for, it's that they can always get stronger.
So to
Yep.
determine the limits of their willpower,
getting
we first
stronger.
need to understand their full potential.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So
That's
just
literally
because
the whole
Simone
point of
starts
him.
off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse labyrinth required Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant.
That's what I'm saying.
Simone
Okay.
made himself that much stronger through sheer force stint.
But that's what I'm
Simone-
saying. Like, again,
Labyrinth
we're talking
requires Simone
about
to
Simon
leapfrog
being
several-
sent into another dimension, away from the current one that he is currently in, that has a whole different other branching of other multiverses and shit like that.
orders of infinity in an instant. Simone made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle, especially since spiral power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level.
Yep.
Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily kill Simone, it was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring ran low on charge. Especially since Simone could likely regenerate for at least a week straight. Like me.
But that's with the Green Lantern. We're talking now. I don't know about, again, they probably know more than I do about like the White Lanterns, but as far as I'm aware, Kyle being the White Lantern, being the one that like created the rings for his core, wouldn't he have like some special connection to it that makes it so he does not have to recharge it at the same rate, or at least at the same consistency that everyone else does? That would make him
kill Simone,
comparable.
It was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring ran low on charge. Especially since Simone could likely regenerate for at least a week straight, like Nia
Yeah.
did. While Blue Lantern Light could boost Kyle's power, he's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simone has.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Oh yeah, there was no
Except for the
manipulation.
life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality and would have more than even the odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset. forcing him to relinquish it to keep from destroying reality and himself.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version
But
of
here's
himself.
the thing: is that it's like, that's the thing is like he relinquished the equation, but I still don't think it would matter because Simon can rewrite that equation basically to keep himself alive with the spiral power.
Writing a version of Gurren Lagan and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No matter how you look at it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren
Plus
Lagan in a nutshell.
Ultra!
Simone's incredible
original.
potential eclipsed Kyle, which means his willpower was ultimately greater. Kyle may have embodied life itself, but Simone's unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner
Dang.
is Simone the Digger.
Next time on Death
Ooh,
Battle.
what's the next one? Mad Max versus Roadrunner? Looney Tunes, Wile E. Coyote.
Subscribe.
Wile E. Coyote versus Tom the Cat. Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be good. Okay. There's also a death battle with Totally Spies and Kim Possible. Interesting. Like I said, maybe we'll watch some of them. Maybe we'll go back into the library and dig up some of the other ones and see what we got there. But yeah, that was really good. I agree with their analysis. I think that I agree with their conclusion and with a lot of their analysis. I think there are parts that, like, even if you bring them up, like, they're as talking points, like they said with, like, the life equation. Simon, whatever you want to say, he surpasses that because the spiral energy that he has allows him to basically exist outside of existence. It's just how it works. Anyways, that's gonna be it for that. That was a banger video. Go check out Death Battle. Oh my god, that was amazing. The animation is always phenomenal too. Like that fight scene. Hey, what is up? You are an absolute legend if you made it this far in the video. I really appreciate it, and if you could just do me one more quick favor, hit that like and subscribe button down below. It really helps me out. I stream on Twitch Wednesdays to Saturdays starting around 12 p.m. EST. And yeah, there's plenty of crazy unhinged madness that goes on over there too. So I hope to see you there, and I'll catch you in the next video.